Someone asked me if I remember exactly the type of question, the specific type of questions that I was asked at the embassy when I went for my visa. And I already did a video, so I decided to do a 10 minutes video today. I did a video on this very channel on the type of visa application, how to make it successful. So hello, my name is Winnie. If you are a returning subscriber, if you are a returning watcher, if you are new to my channel, welcome so much, and don't forget to subscribe and also like this video and share it. So the exact type of questions, I'll just do a 10 minutes one quick, like a summary of the previous video I did. So these are the type of questions that I was asked. So first, just as a side note, from the previous video I mentioned that I revised using my application form. The application form was supposed to give me or make me understand the type of question that would be required of me at the embassy or at the consulate or whichever place you're going to do your interview or to present your papers and also answer some of the obvious questions. The first question they wanted to know is why, because I also mentioned that I came with a student visa, so they asked me why I want to study. I want to study in Austria. And they asked me why, like the same courses could be offered in Kenya, so why exactly do I need it? What helped me with this question was the fact that I already had answered it during my interview with the university. So after I was asked and I tried to fumble, I went ahead. I also have this habit of, if you ask me something and I'm not sure, I would research it later. So I did know it would come also at the embassy. They wanted me to convince them that going to Austria was the best, and not just because there is also an opportunity there. They asked me why the same courses offered there. So what was my response? Very simple. I told them that I researched and I saw that Austria, number one, is one of the countries in the Europe that has these nice facilities, and because I'm going to do engineering courses and I also did my degree, and most of the part of the degree were 50 theoretical, 50 practical. I want to go into their facilities because also the interview had previously mentioned to me that there are a lot of research center and facilities. So when I researched, that's how I did it. Forgive me, but I'll do very, very short summaries of this to make it quick. So that is for those who are applying. You have to research and tell them why, because they will shoot you with, your country has this, there is this university offering same, so why do you need to go? The second thing you have to remember, I did not prove funds from my end, okay? So I needed to prove, to tell, so you'd be asked, if you're not proving funds from your end as a student and you're not under scholarship, you would be asked who is paying for you for it. So they would ask you who is so and so. Something that you have to put in mind is, if you say, for instance, Winnie is paying for is covering for my expenses. In case you're talking about also, I have someone who is taking proof of liability, everything, all expenses. They will ask you who are they. Have a rough idea of their name, full name. Also have a rough idea of the kind of job they are doing. Okay, how you met. Third question, how did you meet? I had to explain how we met. I had to present papers showing that we have met and these are the photos. Something else that I did not take at that particular moment very serious, but I realized it's very important, is I kept Thomas's fast traveling. I mean, what is it called? Flight ticket. For my end, I kept it because it's something I wanted to keep for my own memories. But they needed, I presented it. So when I showed the pictures, they looked at them, wrote, there is some notes they take, but gave me back the papers, which in the case of, if you are going with family reunification, they will take and file. But for my case, they just wanted to prove and also to show that he came in person and I know it. I know the person. Next thing, they want to know where you are going to stay. Do you even have an idea of the name? Because it's written on the form. That's why I said that form is very important for you to study. So after writing the name, that time I tried to craft that name it was in German written and it was hard. So I just said, I know, and I pronounced it with a Kenyan accent. It was funny, but yeah, we learn, and now I can pronounce the address. They will ask you the number of people they are staying with, if you know, also the rooms. Get a rough estimate of where you're going to stay. If you're going to stay with your partner or your spouse, get to know how many square meters are there. In Europe or in Western world, everything is quoted with name of streets. Get to know your address in general. The next thing they wanted to know is why I want to legalize my birth certificate. Because in legalization of documents, if you're going as a student, you don't need it. So they asked me, are you really going to study or you're going to get married? So that one, you have to think about it. And yeah, I said, I would want someday also to use my document, and I have a son, so I also have to legalize my documents. The next question they asked, please do your thorough research. I'm just doing some summary just to make sure you have a rough idea. Was when I presented the papers, I told you I did not have then the court order for for my sons, yeah, for not students, sorry, for your son. So I presented 2 application forms, but they told me that they are insufficient. So that's why they gave me my papers. That's why I was even intrigued to do this video, previous video, telling you that you might have all the requirements. Just one thing, they don't take your papers, and the appointment date is gone, and that's it. So they gave me back the papers because they needed for the court order proving either sole custody or proving the court allows you to leave your country with your son. So also they wanted to know, if you're going to study, why are you going with your son? Yeah, it's an open answer, but they wanted to know, because are you running away? Why are you going with your son? You've just said you're going to study. So I had to explain to them, I have been taking care of him solely and many other things. And yeah, you have to explain why. And so that they also put it in the record. They have to put everything about you. Do not lie. The system has it whenever you give birth, point blank, your system reads number of children you have. So lying, I have only one child, I don't have a child, and the reasons at why people get denied without even them thinking that proof of funds was the only reason. Something else that I did from my end, I did not present bank records because the others were asked for bank statements. But from my end, we did something from the European side. So Thomas went ahead and did notarization of documents. So when they notarize from here, of course, the system here has to check first. When they check what you have against the money amount you have required, if it's sufficient, so notarized document already, if sent into your country, already shows that from the system of European or whichever country you are in, you're already qualified. Okay, so something else they wanted to know is how long I'm going to stay. You have to be very specific. And for me, I didn't have to present, like I said, the residence permit. They first have to approve that you are allowed to go and stay there. Then you apply for visa D. And then when you get to the country, then you change it into residence permit. So they want to know for how long you're going to stay. Stick to the specific duration of your study. If in case you want to extend it, well and good. Otherwise, they will think of it. You will be also asked to show something that would prove that you're motivated, something that will make you come back to your country. Mention a family member. If you have a child, strong proof of ties, you have to prove them. And what else? Was I asked that I could be forgetting? Yeah, I think I have more or less covered the very, very specific ones and any other questions that align, that comes alongside these particular topics. Yeah, so this one was for the student visa, and these are the specific type of questions that I was asked from my end. So after that, they take the papers, they have to go and do all their processes, and then they'll call you to collect your papers, and you wait for it. And just as I, it is a lot. I know for those who are applying, it's a lot of nervousness. You wait, you don't know, you ask around, you have to find something to do at this period. It's quite long for some. Mine was short because it's time duration, like I had to report at specific date. But then for my end, for visa D, I said that my response to be delivered to me at home. And the guy came and said, before you open it, I hope you realize today I've just delivered bad news and people have been crying. I hope you're one of the few, because I've been told seemingly only 3 people have been approved for their visa. So I was one of the lucky ones, and also very lucky to have been approved for a visa for the first time I applied it. So just make sure you put everything in order. It was so exciting. I can't tell you, I still remember that day and many other things. Yeah, but those are some of the general summarized questions I was asked, and mine was short because I was coming with student visa. A lot if you're coming with different type of visa and a lot of proofs, just proof funds, proof of ties, you'll come back or you are going to stay. If you don't need to prove it, be very honest. Ask your partner if you're going to stay with your partner to give you all the relevant information they need. If they ask your partner and they give different story from the other, it cancels. Then you think maybe, oh, they've been denied 5 times. I see such messages, and I hope this one was going to be helpful. Have a good day. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and share this. And